Horror stories that will shock you, friends. Do you know that the world's most popular and scariest movie, The Exodus, which came in 1973, is based on a real incident? In today's episode of Kuni Monday, we have brought the true story of that real incident. This is the story of the year 1949. 14-year-old Roby, who lived in Maryland, USA, lived with his Aunt Harriet and her family. His aunt was a professor of paranormal activities and dark studies, and she used to help those people whose loved ones were no longer in this world. Roby did not have parents, so Roby always insisted his Aunt Harriet that he wanted to talk to his parents once. One day, on Roby's repeated requests, Harriet gifted him an Ouija board. Is such a board with which perhaps now we can call spirits from the other world to talk to us. Roby used to play with that Ouija bot every day and try to talk to his parents. But in the meantime, Roby's behavior started changing a lot. He became irritable. Then in a few days, something happened due to which Roby became scared again. His Aunt Harriet died. After Harriet's death, Roby used to sit on that Ouija board all the time. He loved his aunt very much and wanted to call her back at any cost. Slowly, Roby started going crazy. He used to hear rattling sounds from the walls of the house. Sometimes he felt as if his aunt was calling him. Sometimes he felt that she was fighting with someone. Sometimes he heard the sound of a woman crying, and sometimes the sound of that woman laughing loudly. Harriet's other family members were observing all this. They saw that Roby had become very angry. Once, an elderly member of the house saw that there were scratch marks all over Roby's body. Everyone was scared to see Roby's condition, but then one evening something happened which turned this fear into a hair-raising fear. That evening there was no one except Roby at home. Roby was trying to call his Aunt Harriet from that age abode. For some time, nothing happened, but then suddenly all the doors and windows of the house started ringing. They were ringing 3 times in a pattern and then stopping. Suddenly Roby's head started spinning, and he saw that 2 black shadows were moving around his room rapidly. At the same time, all the lights of his room started to turn on and off rapidly. Roby got very scared, and he ran to his aunt's bedroom. There he saw that his aunt was sitting on the bed, and all her hair was scattered, and she was combing her hair. Panicked Roby called his aunt, but she did not say anything. Then the woman sitting on the bed removed her hair from in front of her face, and she started looking at Roby. Roby's soul trembled as soon as he saw her face. That woman was it was not the aunt, but someone else whose face was very scary. The eyes of that woman were white, and worms were crawling on her face. She was laughing at Roby in a very scary way and was sticking out her tongue. As soon as the scared Roby turned to run out of the room, there was a demon standing with him who had long teeth and red eyes. Roby froze on seeing him, as if he was under someone's control. He stood there, and the door of that room opened by itself. A cat was opening, and he was eating the flesh of that cat by taking it out. But as soon as he saw the other family members, he became mad with anger and started screaming at everyone in a very loud voice, and then fainted in a few moments. After this incident, Roby's condition was getting worse day by day. When no psychiatrist could understand anything, Harriet's family approached 2 priests, but as soon as those priests set foot in the house, Roby started screaming like a madman. The family members tied Roby to the bed. When those priests saw Roby's condition, they were shocked. Roby started laughing loudly at them and insulting God. He started abusing them too. Then one of the priests poured holy water on Roby. Roby's eyes became completely white in that second, and his face became like a devil. The furniture of his room started moving on its own. The priest started reading his mantras, and Roby suddenly started screaming in pain, and after a loud, painful scream, he fell unconscious. After that day, many exercises were performed on Roby, despite which Roby's condition did not improve. Then suddenly Roby's clothes started tearing, and strange marks started appearing on his body with blood. A very big X sign was formed on his chest, and as soon as this happened, Roby's bed started flying in the air. The priest stopped the exercise at that very moment. All the family members were very scared to see this. The priest told them that X mark means 10 in Latin, which meant that his body was not occupied by one but 10 demonic souls. Next day, when the priest went to his room to perform the last exercise on Robbie, he saw that Robbie was not on his bed. When they reached there, they saw that Robbie was not on his bed. When they turned back, Robbie was on the ceiling and was laughing at them and muttering something in a very heavy voice. He was speaking loudly in Latin. Seeing this, the priest immediately started the operation. Robbie fell down unconscious. He was tied to the bed. During that operation, his body started getting stiff and he was screaming in pain. And then suddenly Robbie started vomiting black-colored fluid. A strange, sticky liquid came out of his body, after which Robbie fell asleep. The next day when he woke up, everything was absolutely normal. He was feeling very weak, but he did not remember anything about what had happened to him. After a few days, he was completely fine, and after that, such an incident never happened to him again. Robbie did not remember the incidents that happened to him, but his family members and those priests will hardly ever forget the horrible things they saw. If you like this video, then subscribe to our channel.